Hello, and welcome to today's subscriber contract. No talking, focus on the job. Set in Berlin and supplied to us today by Mr. Mike 227-2 and recommended to us today by Paul Anderson 37. So moving on to our briefing. Hello 47. ICA agents are on the assignment and they were seen talking with some of the people in the club. There are 15 people in total the agents talk with. Make sure none of them leave the club alive, so nothing will distract your fellow ICA colleagues. Do not eliminate or pacify any of the agents to keep their cover intact. Good hunting by Tresbiat. So moving on to our targets, and as mentioned we have a whole load of them along with one objective. And for today's challenge we'll be starting as the biker. We're going to have the Seeker 1 stored up in the entrance staff room, and we'll be bringing with us a vial of lethal pills and a silenced pistol.
This is no fun. You're always complaining.
So right from the start and off the bat we are going to have our work cut out for us. So we're going to make our way straight into the rec room pool area. We're going to grab the knife from the dartboard and the pool ball from the pool table. We're going to throw the pool ball over onto the corner of the room there, and that will get the attention of our first target. And when he comes along to investigate, we can introduce him to Cold Steel. So one down, many to go. We're now going to make our way upstairs, and we're going to set up our next elimination, or our next several eliminations should I say. So we're going to go all the way up to the top floor where Agent Tremaine is located, and Agent Tremaine is the sniper. So just as our target is arriving, we couldn't have timed that any better. We're going to turn off the generator there and then hide ourselves just up by this plywood. Our target, as you can see, is right here. So when he comes along to investigate and turns the generator back on, we can launch the knife at him and introduce him to Cold Steel, and we are 2 targets down. So we're going to make our way back downstairs, and we're going to deal with the 2 guys that Agent Rhodes now talks to. So we're going to make our way around to the weed farm. We're going to pull out our silenced pistol and detonate the camera there. So there are our 2 targets. We're going to add our lethal poison to the ventilation system here, and as long as Agent Rhodes has left the area, we can then turn on the ventilation, eliminate both targets very quickly, and we can then turn off the ventilation again so that we don't eliminate Agent Rhodes. We're then going to make our way, let's just grab that crowbar actually before we leave, that may come in handy. So we're going to make our way out onto the outer balcony area here. We're going to take out both of the surveillance system cameras, and we're going to grab the propane cylinder. We're then going to make our way back into the building on the far side here, which will lead us to the security office. And just as Agent Rhodes has left, we're going to drop the propane cylinder on the floor in the middle of the room there. And while Agent Rhodes is discovering the other 2 gentlemen who have been dealt with, we're going to cop back out of the window, put 2 quick bullets into the propane cylinder, eliminate the target by the surveillance system, and then we're going to head straight down the stairs, and we will move on to the 2 of 3 targets that Agent Thames speaks to. So straight down the stairs out of the biker hangout, we're going to take out the camera over the entrance to the club, just so that I don't forget later and run straight into it. We're going to make our way around towards where Agent Thames is located, and as you can see he is right here. He's just checking in, and then he's going to be leaving the area. So once Agent Thames gets far enough away, we're going to mess about none at all by shooting both of the guards just over our left shoulder there in the head. I don't think Thames is far enough away just yet. Let's let him get a little bit further. We're going to then quickly eliminate both of our targets here. I think I'll start with you. You're the easier of the two. So we need to drop them both very, very quickly. And then we're going to hide them both in the bushes we were stood next to. So I'm going to try and grab both of their guns as well. It's just so that we don't interrupt Agent Thames in his routine, as he does talk to another young lady, or more to the point, she talks to him. He doesn't seem too interested. So once we've got both of the guards safely tucked up into the bushes, we can now make our way across the path and over by the crane and the big iron girder, or the I-beam, that is laying on the ground here. We're going to hide behind this. We're going to grab the crowbar that's here as well, just as the young lady comes along to bother Agent Thames. We are going to have to wait for this conversation to play out, but when it does, and Agent Thames once again is moved away to a safe distance, we're going to put a bullet into the moped just by where the young lady is. That will attract her attention back to the moped. We're going to then throw one of our crowbars way off over by the pallets over yonder. That will get her colleague's attention, and while he is distracted, we can then try and detonate the moped very quickly while no one is looking. So we're then going to head now towards the staff entrance room. Now these two guards coming at us aren't always enforcers, and we can just run straight past them. Today, for some reason, they both decided to be enforcers, so we're going to give them a nice wide berth as we head around to the entrance staff room, and we're going to go and retrieve our Seeker 1 from in there, and then we're going to move our way up onto the roof and deal with the gentleman that Agent Green speaks to. So we're just going to make our way around the side of the building. We're going to go straight up to the roof, and hopefully we will catch our next target before Agent Green comes along. So straight up onto the roof. Our target is here sitting in the chair, and it turns out Agent Green is on his way here as we speak. There he is. So we are going to have to wait for his little conversation to play out, and when Agent Green has moved a safe distance away, we can then drop our target with a simple bullet to the head. So about now should be good enough. There we go, down with our target. We're going to deposit him in the dumpster provided. Now hopefully by now, if you haven't already collected one, we will need to collect his gun, as we will need a spare weapon for our next target. So we're just going to drop this guy in the dumpster provided, make our way down the stairs. Yes, we have a spare weapon, so we don't need his. We're going to head now down into the club entrance area where our target is located, and we are going to drop this gun on the floor right in front of him. But Agent Davenport is in the area. I can see him on the mini-map. And once again, we are going to have to wait for a conversation between him and the ICA agent to play out. Once that has played out, we can then drop our firearm here in front of our target. He will pick that up and he will bring it to the staff entrance room, where there is a weapons locker, and it just so happens to be where our Seeker 1 is located. So we're going to retrieve that. We're going to select our silenced pistol, and we're going to await the arrival of our target. So he's going to pick up the gun, and if he doesn't, someone will point it out to him, and he will bring it along to the weapons locker right here. And when he does, he's going to have a very, very short shift. So here he comes now. We're just going to plant 2 in his back. There you go, sir. That's for a job well done. We're going to deposit him in the closet provided, and we're going to then move on to our next target, who is located elsewhere in the club. So we're getting through them. We're almost there. So our next target is located down at the chill out bar, or the projection bar I think it's called. So we're just going to head straight down there. Now we do need to keep an eye out for Agent Montgomery, my nemesis, as he will be in this area at some point. Luckily enough today, he's not around just at the moment, so we can make our way straight into the projection bar. We're going to head straight behind the projection bar, and then we're going to turn off the projection. So I'm just going to grab the hobby knife there, because that's a nice quiet weapon. We're going to turn off the projection. That will attract the attention of our target. There he is. And when he comes along to investigate, we're going to let him turn the projection back on before we pounce on him and introduce him to Cold Steel. Down you go, sir. Well done. We're going to deposit him in the crate behind us. And then we're going to make our way through the double doors behind us and around into the backstage area, and all the way to the far end of this area, where we will encounter our next target. Again, keeping an eye out for Agent Montgomery, whose routine also brings him over this way. So we've just run past our target, who is usually on guard by this door. So we're going to pull out our Seeker 1. We're going to shoot him in the back with the Seeker 1. And when he comes along to investigate, we will be able to deal with him accordingly. So I don't know if he's radioing in. I know these guards do like to radio in at the drop of a hat, but I didn't think they would do it whilst feeling sick. Hello, command. I'm not feeling very well. Can I go home, please? So once his colleague has lost interest, we're just going to give him a gentle nudge down the lift shaft area there. And we are 1 more target down. That leaves us 3 more to go. I thought I'd just run into Agent Montgomery then for a brief second, and I'm now in need of a new heart. So our next target will be rather tricky. So we're going to grab the propane cylinder here, and we're going to make our way towards the security office. We don't have the key card to get through that door, so we're going to go up on top of the DJ booth and over via the air ventilation system. We can drop down on the other side, and we can open the door from the other side, and that door will now remain unlocked. We can retrieve our propane cylinder. We're going to take that into the security room, and we're going to place it on the desk next to our target. There we go. So if we've been caught on any cameras up to this point, it doesn't matter, as we are about to take the cameras out. So next up, we're going to go and take care of Mr. Hirschmuller, and he is located in his office. So we're going to make our way into Hirschmuller's office, and we are going to lure him away from his guards using the gramophone. And we're going to use the hobby knife once again to deal with him nice and quiet. So we're going to turn on the gramophone here, and once it finally distracts Rolf, we can then turn it off again. And we're going to wait for Rolf to come along. And when Mr. Hirschmuller gets to the gramophone, we're not actually going to give him a chance to do anything, as we are going to pounce on him immediately. There we go. Introduce you to Cold Steel, mate. And we are either going to leave you right there, or more safely deposit you straight into the closet provided, as we will be causing a lot of panic very shortly. So 2 more targets to go. 1 easy, 1 not so easy. And our not so easy target is Agent Montgomery's bodyguard, who you can see over there. Now for some reason they're not moving. I don't know why, but I'm going to use that to my advantage. So we're going to go back up onto the ventilation system and we're going to shoot our target with our second Seeker 1 dart. Now I was planning on doing this at this point, but I was expecting to be hitting a moving target, but I'm going to take the opportunity while they're not moving to shoot the target now. So he's going to get sick, he's going to make his way to the security room bathroom, and Agent Montgomery is coming along with him. Now Agent Montgomery will continue on through his normal routine while our target goes into the bathroom. So all we're going to do is select our silenced pistol here, ready and waiting. We're just going to wait right here for Agent Montgomery to go past. There he goes, just as he spots his bodyguard feeling rather worse for wear. I know how he feels, my throat is absolutely killing me. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to be losing my voice again soon. So once Agent Montgomery vacates the security room, we're going to make our way straight into the bathroom. It looks like Agent Chamberlain was in the area as well. I didn't even notice him. So once they have both vacated the security room, we're going to go into the bathroom. We're going to give our penultimate target a nice refreshing cold drink. There we go. And that just leaves our final target currently sitting down, relaxing in the security office. Now rather than try and take out the propane cylinder from here, we're going to go back up onto the ventilation system where we will be able to take the propane cylinder and our target out without any fuss. So we're just going to make our way along to this side, swap shoulders so I can see the propane, and then we're going to put two very careful bullets into the propane cylinder. That will eliminate our final target, and we can then head for the nearest available safe exit, which in this instance is at the end of the corridor just past the DJ booth. We're going to use the air conditioning unit to get us all the way there to avoid any enforcer entanglements, because we have just caused quite a lot of panic. So straight through the doors and we can exit Berlin. So there we go, one more subscriber contract taken care of, and that was quite a mighty one. We have quite a few targets that we managed to eliminate according to plan. We also managed to meet our one and only objective, and we get a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.